Hi, welcome to Aqua Education. My name is Heidi, and I am going to be a tutor on IELTS. IELTS is the test that lots of people are taking nowadays because obviously many people have chosen to go abroad to study, and so IELTS have become one of the many preparations that they have to prepare themselves for if they want to study overseas. So the IELTS test that I'm focusing on today is the academic IELTS test, and lots of people say IELTS isn't easy because I understand it is quite difficult to look at 3 passages and answer 40 questions within an hour, and also doing speaking, listening, and writing at the same time, which is just, I know, such a challenge. But I can tell you that IELTS isn't that difficult at all, and if you will just practice, then it's gonna be a really stupid easy test. So let's dive in. The topic that I'm going to just share some tips with you today is the reading test of IELTS. The reading test is the second test in your IELTS, because obviously you take your listening first, then you take your reading, then you take your writing, and then lastly you take your speaking. And because they all carry equal marks, I wouldn't say that reading is particularly important, but reading is where you can earn most of your marks from, because reading, you can do it by practicing, and all you need is just skills and tips, and if you can get hold of them, then it's gonna be alright, okay? Right, so let's look a bit on the overview of the test. Here's an overview. So as you can see, the duration of the test lasts for an hour, so that's 60 minutes, and format is just, sorry, wait a second, I have to get my pen back. Where is it? Oh, right, okay, sorry, here. Right, you have to answer 3 articles in just 60 minutes, and so if you calculate, it will be 20 minutes per article. But I have to remind you for one thing, because the difficulty increases as you go on do them. So basically, it means that the first article is gonna be the easiest one, the second one is the medium one, and the last one will be the most difficult one. So I personally would suggest you to spend 15 minutes on the first, 20 minutes for the second, and 25 minutes for the third. But in case you cannot do it, just always bear in mind that your aim is to complete the whole task, okay? Do not try to give up the whole forest just because of a tree. You do not just linger on the first part for several minutes because you couldn't understand the passage. If you don't understand, then go. Just leave, and carry on doing the second one and the third one. As long as you can complete the task, then you're alright. The skills, one of the very big skills in IELTS reading test is that all you have got is only 60 minutes, so it's gonna be super rush. In that 60 minutes, I tell you what, you're not gonna have time for checking. Checking will be useless, so you have to make sure that on that spot you have to get the answer right. You're not gonna have time to look back and look at the passage again and check your answers. Nope, I'm sorry mate, but no. So really, all you have to do is to do time management, okay? And then the form of the articles are usually from magazine, journals, or newspaper, such as the Economics or the National Geographic. But I mean, who are we kidding? You're not gonna just prepare for it by reading the Economics or the National Geographic or the Times few minutes before you take the exam. I mean, some people do that, but all of us are lazy. All of us just want to get a mark, but without doing the job. Alright, I understand, that's normal. Just accept that side of you, okay? So I wouldn't really say you should do that, but it would be a plus if you could read that. Okay, because most of them are from this article, so high chance that what you're reading will be from those. And if they are not from what you're reading, I mean they are not from the economics or national geography, you still gain. I mean you wouldn't lose because you'll get familiar with those those kind of writing, because they are usually very formal and the words are gonna be difficult, so it's still a plus. And don't worry about the specific words, because the words, they are difficult, but they are not professional terms. Some of them are. For example, you can have a passage on OCD, but it's okay. They're not gonna give you super difficult professional terminologies. Okay. So let's have a look at the question types. Right. You will have sorry. I'm a computer idiot. Okay, here you go. Okay, so you will have sort of basically 9 types of questions. You can have multiple choice, short answer, completing sentences, completing notes, summary tables, flowcharts, labeling diagrams. I rarely see that. Choosing headings for paragraphs and sections, just matching really, and identifying writers' claims, classifying information, and matching. But personally, I would say that you wouldn't really have labeling diagrams. I mean, they have it once in a while, but not really that much. So I would say that multiple choice is a must. I mean, they're gonna be there. Short answers, sometimes. Completing sentences, sometimes. Completing note summary tables, flowcharts, sometimes. Label diagram, well, you can ignore that. Choosing headings for paragraphs and sections, always. They're always there. And this is the part where I personally find it most difficult, because you just get confused about it. You will be like, oh my god, they all look so similar. Which one should I choose for? I don't know what the article is talking about. Well, that's why you have to practice, and you should use skills. And we'll talk about more on that later. And then identifying the writer's claim, also one of those questions that they will always be on. Classify information, sometimes. Matching, always. So basically 1, 6, 7, 9 are the question types that you're gonna encounter in your exam. You may ask that why is question types important or worth to notice here? Because all of them require skills, and if you know the skills and the tricks to them, you're gonna be, a better scholar. Okay, but again, it's no use just saying to you here. Is more important that you just dive in and do the work. Okay, so here are some reading skills and reading tips that I myself think is important to your IELTS exam. So okay, some really cliche and really obvious point that I think I really shouldn't be mentioned, because I do not want to underestimate your intelligence. I think everybody should know that, but just in case somebody doesn't know, then we'll still go through them. The first one is that you should always use the first paragraph to make predictions. Okay, this is really important, because when you look at an article, you wouldn't know what the article is saying about. They're just, you will be panic. You will suffer from panic attack, and all you see is big page with lots of words, and you're like, oh my god, I do not understand any of them. Okay, so at that moment you have to calm yourself down and just look at the first paragraph and make predictions about them. If you see the first sentence, for instance, I'll read it here. If you see the first sentence says, obsessive compulsive disorder is clinically diagnosed as an anxiety disorder. Okay, the first sentence you see is about obsessive compulsive disorder. So immediately in your head, you have to have a picture about what the article is going to be about. what can you think? It's gonna be obsessive compulsive disorder. It's gonna be, I guess, you make predictions, alright? I guess it's gonna be how people suffer from it, how people get OCD, how people get this kind of anxiety disorder, and how can you treat them, maybe? Okay, so you basically immediately in your head you form this kind of questions. So when you carry on reading, you're gonna look for the answers. And the second skill is really just looking at the topic sentence. Topic sentences are really, really important. They normally indicate what a whole paragraph is about. They sum up the whole thing, okay? And looking for specific details, everybody knows that. Analyzing the questions and answers, yeah, this is really important too. Some people, when they take the exam for the first time, they would just look at a paragraph and then they do the questions. Well, that is not a skills. Really what you should be doing is that you look at a question first, okay, before you start reading. Because time is so rushed, you do not have time to really look at look at a paragraph, look at an article line by line. No, you do not have time for that. All you have time is that you should be finding the answer while you're reading. So always, please look at the answer. Look at the questions first. Okay, you turn to the question page and you look. Okay, that's the question. And I think I should be looking for such answers, and then you go back to the passage, you go back to the article, and you look for the answers while you're reading, okay? That saves a lot of time. But again, do not spend too much time, okay, looking at the questions, because that will just ruin the whole thing, okay? And the fifth one is that you should identify the task, which is, what I have been talking about. And then some tips here. Take a brief look at the question first. Important to the max. Always look at the questions first, okay? Do not think that you're a genius and you think, oh, I'm such a fast reader, I'm such a quick reader, it's gonna be alright. No. Even if you're quick, still look at the question. That you wouldn't lose. You're gonna always it's a win-win, okay? And then always underline or circle any keywords. Sorry. Always underline and circle any keywords. This is really important too. Personally, I think this is one of the skills that, that could gain you good marks, because when you look at a paragraph, there are already so much words that you have to focus on. And then when you finish reading, you're gonna lose yourself in it. Okay, it's gonna be a labor. You're gonna say, oh my god, where's the answer that I'm looking for? So really, just always underline the keywords, always circle them. You wouldn't know how much that helps, because when you go back, you will see the words that you have underlined, and you think, and you'll think to yourself, oh, thank God I've underlined it, so now I know where to look for my answers, okay? And always make notes while reading. How do you make notes? We'll always speak more on it later, but yeah, you do not just read it, you make notes, you underline, okay? But again, do not spend too much time on it, okay? Just highlight the necessary words, okay? Right. So again, it's useless just talking to you about the skills. Let's just dive in and just do a practice test. Okay, so here sorry, I'm just a computer idiot. Right. Oh, where have I gone? Right. This is one of the, just some of the practice papers of IELTS. So this is one of the things that you will get in your reading. It's so long. Okay? Just have a look. It's gonna be about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around 6 paragraphs. And this is only the first article. So it's supposed to be easy, but it doesn't look easy, right? I know some of you will think that are just too much words, and I don't even know what the title means. What is Zulu beadwork? Okay, nobody knows. Okay, but you know what? Don't worry. Nobody knows. If you do not know, then people do not know. So that's alright. You're you're just gonna suffer it up, okay? And okay, first thing first, do not look at the article. You always look at the question first. So let's just go down and look at the question first. Okay, I'm going to do maybe 2 articles with you so that you can have a picture, you can have an idea on how is the test is gonna be. Okay, so the first part, matching. When you see the word matching, you will immediately say to yourself, thank God I'm gonna have marks on it, because matching is really easy. You don't even have to think. Okay, this is the part that you can get your marks from, and it's always in the first article. Okay, so immediately, do not spend too much time. Look at the question. You just have to, what do you have to do? Write the correct letter A to E in boxes 1 to 3 on your answer sheet. Okay, there are more terms than definitions. You will not use them all. So basically, you have to match 1 to 3 with A, B, C, D, E. So pick 3 from A, B, C, D, E and match it on. Okay. So the first one, it means place of heaven. So immediately you underline place of heaven. What do we mean by place of heaven? Okay. And so you have to, just look for the words in the article. The second one, it is the Portuguese name for South America. Bear in mind in that it means. The last one, it means people of heaven. Again, bear in mind in that you're gonna look for these words in your article. Okay, so do not just look at the first part. Okay, you look at the whole questions first. So let's just go down. Right, short answer questions. Short answer will do not be put off by that, because you can also get marks from it. But remember, they say write no more than 3 words for each answer. So bear in mind you should never write more than 3 words. You cannot just go like, oh, I wrote 4 words, it's alright, it's just 1 extra. No, that is so wrong. 1 extra word is 1 extra word, okay? So you just cannot go 4, but you can always go 2 words or 1 word, okay? But never go beyond 3 words, okay? So, again, underline the questions, look for the keywords. Which country does the Zulu clan reside in? So, country, okay? Look for the country. When did the Portuguese arrive? When, okay? And then, how many members of the Zulu kingdom are there? How many members? So, immediately, you think to yourself, I'm looking for numbers for the last questions. I'm looking for time or year for number 5, and I'm looking for somewhere like probably a word I do not know, but it surely is a place for number 4. Okay, so that's relatively easy. They are all asking about the Zulu, so you're not gonna mix it up. Okay. And then let's go on to true or false. True or false, I would say, is the most challenging part in your IELTS reading test, because lots of people do not know and do not have an idea of what true or false and not given is. Well, they're very kind. They provide the definition here. For true, it means that the statement is true according to the passage. What does that mean? It means that the passage mentioned about that thing, and what you have in these questions is that they have it right. So that's true. Okay, that's easy, right? Easy concept. False is that the passage mentioned it, but the question have it wrong. Okay? For instance, the question mentioned that my mom is a girl, but it's a woman. And then in the question it goes like, my mom is a man, and then obviously it's wrong. This is so easy, okay? But then what people don't get is not given, and I usually do not understand why, because not given is just an easy concept. Is that the information is, I don't know. We don't care if it is right or wrong. Even though it is right, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't show in the article. Okay, an example would be that the question say, your mom is a woman. Well, okay, even though you know that your mom is a woman, okay, if the passage didn't mention anything about that, it just mentioned that, well, your mom, the name of your mom is Debbie, and she likes shopping. She likes to do housework stuff, okay? But that doesn't really mean that she's a woman. The passage didn't really mention she could be a girl. How do you know? It's just a she. You do not know whether she is a girl or a woman. So level made the mistakes of thinking, oh, that sentence is true. I think I'm gonna put true. No. If the passage didn't mention it, level put true or false. Even though you know if it is right or not, you put not given, okay? So these are the concepts that people find it difficult. But really, again, when you listen, I mean, all of you understand, right? It's just such an easy concept. Just do not panic, and do not mix up all of them, and just go on. Okay, so what do we have here? The first one, the British were the first people to sell glass beads in Africa. So probably they're asking, are the British the first one? Okay. And the second, Henry Francis Flynn made a lot of money selling glass beads to the Zulu people. So I think they're asking you, did he make a lot of money, or is Henry the guy who made a lot of money? Okay, so you have to bear that in mind. So you have to look for this guy when you're reading. Okay, look for this Henry guy. Henry Francis Flynn guy, so long. I'm sure you can spot him. And the Zulu people believe that glass beads were precious stones. Do they? Or do other people believe? Or you have to make a guess right away. What are they? What do they want? What do they want you to prove? Okay? And then the Zulu people use glass beads in many aspects. Do they do it in many aspects, or do they do it in only one single aspect? So this is also the places that have you look for. Zulu women believe that bead covered, what is that word? I don't even know. Let's just skip it. Can help them have babies. So this is also really easy. You just have to look for, do they really help them to have babies, or do they have just another usage? So immediately you have to look at them. And then you have labeling diagram. Again, I know that I've mentioned that you do not always see labeling diagram in your IELTS, but this is a practice test, so I guess they're just gonna be as much question types that you can think of. I mean, I've put in all the question types that you can all have a try, okay? Labeling diagram. Oh, what are the triangle? What are these? Okay, don't panic. Stay calm, because they are just diagram. You can draw them yourself. They're just silly, stupid diagram. So, what you do is that you look at the title first. Is that Zulu beadwork code? So in the passage, you should always look for this, okay? Look for where it mentioned this, and then you're gonna spot this diagram. You do not worry about too much, okay? So, what we have done is that we can go back to the passage and look for the answers, okay? First one, you don't really have to read it. Because after you have analyzed the question, they're all just, they're all just really easy stuff. It didn't require you to fill in the blanks or whatsoever, or they don't have you to match the heading. So really, you do not have to read the whole thing. Just look for the answer. Okay, so the first one is that, what means the place of heaven? So you go up, and then, it's so difficult to control. Okay. You look for the word place of heaven. Just spot it. Okay, I spot it. Place of heaven is here. Ta-da! Okay, so what did it say? The South African province of okay, is named after the Zulu people who have inhabited the area since the late 1400s. KwaZulu translate to mean, oh, here we go. This place is translated to mean place of heaven. So, you have your first answer. You don't really have to read it. You just have to spot it and then get the answer. So for this one, we already know that place of heaven refers to E. Okay, so the answer is E. Okay, you do not write your answer here. They're gonna have a answer sheet when you're doing your paper, but I do not have the answer sheet now, so I'm just gonna write here. And always please remember, write, if they are capital, then just write in capital. You do not go like small letter when you're answering. Okay. So in the answer box, you should always spell it properly. And if it's capital, you follow capital, okay? And write in the correct box. If the answer is number 1, you do not write in the number 2 answer box, okay? A lot of people make these mistakes and screw the whole thing up, which is just stupid because it's totally unnecessary and not worth it. Okay. The second one, it is the Portuguese name for Southern America. So again, you go up and you look for Portuguese. Did they ever say that? And you start spotting. See? Sorry for the really unclear wordings because it's just a copy, so I did not get it really black. Okay, so here you go. You have the words. So you look at the sentence. NATO was the name the Portuguese explorers gave this region when they arrived in 1497. Okay, so the answer is obvious. Again, the answer is that NATO. So B is for number 2. And then the third one, it means people of heaven. Okay. Again, we go up. See, it's so easy, right? You just really don't have to spend time on this. Just look for the words and read the sentence. Claire, people of heaven, there you go. They're all in paragraph 1. Okay? Again, bear in mind, they're not gonna just jump to paragraph 2 right away. The answer are usually in paragraph 1 for the first part. Only for the first part, alright? Okay? So you read it again. By the late 1700s, the Amazulu clan, meaning people of heaven. Okay, that's really all that you have to read because you have already got the answer. So it's Amazulu. So again, I really hate computer, just so you know. Here you go. People of heaven means C, Amazulu. Okay, so that's the answer. You have already gained 3 marks, and do not worry about being too easy because the questions all carry equal marks. Okay, so it doesn't matter. You have already got 3 marks. Okay, short answer. Which country does the Zulu clan reside in? Country. You look for country, Zulu clan. So we go up. Go far too up. Right. Which country? Let's just see. Oh, so you read on. The Southern African province of KwaZulu-Natal, more commonly referred to as the Zulu Kingdom, is named after the Zulu people who have inhabited in the area since the late 1400s. So, this is so easy, right? The South African province. So, which country does it reside in? The question asks. So obviously, it resides in South African. And in case you do not know the word, in case you do not understand the word province, in case you do not understand any of those words, these are the only country that happens to be in the article. They will have Portuguese, but Portuguese isn't really a country, right? So, I mean, this is the only country that you can find. Okay, and you can see that today the Zulu can represent the largest ethnic group in South Africa. And South Africa is here, up here again. So I bet, even if you don't know what that means, South African is gonna be a safe answer. So the answer should be South Africa. Right, so South Africa is the country that the Zulu reside in. And then the second, when did the Portuguese arrive in KwaZulu-Natal? When? So I think we have to be looking for a time or a day or a year. Just look for that, even if you do not know what it means. Okay, first number that we spot on is since the late 1400s. But what they say is named after the Zulu people who have inhabited the area since the 1400s. They inhabited, but it didn't really say that it arrived there. So you go on reading, and we got 1497. What does it mean? Natal was the name of the Portuguese explorers gave this region when they arrived in 1497. Okay. So that's easy, because it's exactly the word you're looking for. So they arrive in 1497. There you go. So 1497 is a year. Okay, and then how many members of the Zulu kingdom are there? How many members? So again, you should be looking for a number, but the number should be large enough that it represents the number of the populations. Okay. So again, look at the paragraph again. Okay, where we didn't at the time only okay number, but that is just a time. Number 11 million people in the kingdom. That sounds about right, but we still have to check. Okay, today the Zulu can represent the largest ethnic group in South Africa, which with at least 11 million people in the kingdom. So I think that gives you the answer, because it's asking you how many members are there in the Zulu clan, and the Zulu clan has like 11 million people in the kingdom. So the answer should be 11 million. Oh, sorry for the technical clinch. Oh. Okay, so 11 million. Okay, 11 million are the members. Okay, and then you look at the true or false. I think you have read it. So we look at it again. The British were the first people to sell glass beads in Africa. Are they? You look at the words selling glass beads. Because you have already pretty much spent time on the first paragraph, you have to make a risk and you have to bet. Okay, I think they have the answer in paragraph 2. Okay, because it makes sense for you to move on the next paragraph. Okay, so you do not have to look at the first paragraph unless you cannot find the paragraph anywhere elsewhere. I mean the answer. So here, the glass beads trade in the province. Okay, we look for selling. Oh wait, but before you see that, you see this name, Henry Francis Flynn. Recorded, we have seen this name in the true or false, and it says that I'm not gonna just sum it. I'm just gonna tell you what is the questions. It says that Henry Francis Flynn made a lot of money selling glass beads to the Zulu people. Okay, but did he make a lot of money, or what did he do? So here it says that an Englishman named Henry Francis Flynn brought glass beads to the region to sell to the African people. Though the British are not considered the first. Okay, it didn't mention Henry Francis Flynn anymore, but it only says that he sell glass beads to the African people. But did he make a lot of money? Did he? I don't think the passage has anywhere mentioned that. It's just that it sell, but it didn't say anything about it. So this is a bit tricky. When we go to the true or false part, okay, it says Henry Francis Flynn made a lot of money selling glass beads. Okay, we know that he sell, but did he make a lot more money? Did he? We do not know. So do we put false or do we put not given? What do you think? I'll give you 3 seconds to think about it. Okay, so I bet half of you think that is false and half of you think that is not given. Well, congratulations to the other half because it is not given. The answer is not false. He still have made a lot of money. But did the passage mention it? No. So you cannot say that he didn't or say that he has. So all you can put is that not given. We do not know. We have no idea. Maybe the questions got it right, but it didn't mention, so we cannot help that. Okay, so we're still having fun. We're the British people, the first people to sell glass beads in Africa. Okay, so we have to go back. Right. Oh. Sorry it's taking too long just to go back. And my computer is sort of like an idiot. Okay, here you go. Okay, where are we? Though the British are not considered the first to introduce glass beads, they were a main source through which the Zulu people could access the merchandise they needed. Okay, it says that the British are not considered. So really, it sort of just hints you here that the British are not the first one. But can we be sure? Who are the first one? So maybe if you want to, I already told you that because time is really rushed, you have to make sure that your answer is right. Or right on the spot, okay? So you read on and try to look at if they mention anybody else is the first one. Okay? So it says glass beads had already been manufactured by the Egyptians centuries earlier, around the same time when glass was discovered. It was manufactured by the Egyptians. Some research points to the idea that Egyptians tried to fool South African with glass by passing it off as jewelry, similar to the value of gold and ivory. So if they try to fool them, it means that, more or less that it means that they want to try to sell them the thing. So I think that Egyptians are the first one to sell them instead of the British. So immediately you have that in mind. Okay, the British are not the first one. They came after the Egyptians, okay? But you cannot be sure, so you can just read on. Okay, Phoenician mariners brought cargoes of these beads to Africa along with other wares. Before the Europeans arrived, many Arab traders brought glass beads down to the southern countries via camelback. Oh, here we have the answer. Europeans. The British, please don't tell me you do not know. The British are Europeans, although they are not in the EU, but, it's a common sense. The British are from Europe and they are the Europeans. Before the Europeans arrived, so you can take that as before the British arrived, many Arab traders brought glass beads. Okay, so Arab traders are already there to bring the glass beads down to the southern countries. So you can fairly say that the British are surely not the first one. Or even the Egyptians, they cannot be the first one as well, but the Arab traders are the first one. Okay? So Okay, we go down again. Okay, so the first one, you can say it mentioned, but I think it mentioned who are the first one, so it's not given. Okay, it's not false either because it is true. No, it's not true either because it is false because the British are not the first people. We're not the first people. The Arabs are. So obviously the answer is false. Okay. You cannot put not given because it's exactly there and tell you who are the first one. Okay. Okay. The Zulu people believe that glass beads were precious stone. Do they believe? Okay, we look at it again. Sorry it's taking so long. Do they believe that they are precious stone? I think we have pretty much finished the second paragraph, so the answer should be in the third paragraph. Okay. The Zulu people were not fooled into believing. Oh, immediately you can find the answer in the first sentence. How excited is that? Were not fooled into believing that glass beads were precious stone. They are not fooled into believing that glass beads were precious stone, but rather used the beads to establish certain codes and rituals in the society. In African traditions, kings were known to wear beaded regalia so heavy that they required the help of attendants to get out of their thrones. Oh, okay. So these are all irrelevant. So the answer is already in the first sentence. They are not fit to believe. So do they believe? No, of course they do not believe. I mean, who would believe that glass is a precious stone? No, nobody. So here we go. They do not believe. So the answer is false. Okay. 10th. The Zulu people use glass beads in many aspects of their daily lives. Is that correct? Let's have a look. Right. Here. It says that it helps to establish certain codes and rituals in the society. So instead of being precious stone, these glass beads actually establish certain codes and rituals. So you can fairly say that they have used it in many aspects. But can we be sure? Is there any sentence that indicates that they use it on many aspects as well? So let's read on. Where are we up to? Okay. Oh, Zulu beadwork is involved in every realm of society, from religion and politics to family and marriage. This is so right. This is just the answer that you have. Involved in every realm of society. Isn't that the answer? Okay? Even if you do not know what this word means, I think you can fairly have a little guess and and tell yourself that okay, that means aspects probably, okay, and then even if you still don't know, it says from religion and politics to family and marriage. So basically, it's everything. Okay, I mean religion to marriage. This is the answer. I mean. Obviously, they use it in many aspects. So the answer again is true, because yes, they do use it in many aspects. Okay. And then the last one, Zulu women believe that bead-covered girls can help them have babies. Okay. Again, we have to go up and see if these bead-covered girls help them have babies. mine is still a woman. Okay, woman. So I think the answer is somewhere near. The craft of beadwork is used as an educational tool as well as a source of recreation and fashion. No. Personal adornment items. This is all. Okay, here. Besides clothing and accessories, there are many other bead objects in the Zulu culture. So the bead covered. Oh, here is a word that we want. Bead covered girls, which are carried around by women who are having fertility problem. Who are having fertility problem? Okay, some of you may not know what this means, and some of you will know what this means, fertility problem. So basically, the passage is saying that those women who carry this are the women who have fertility problem. But we do not know. I mean, let's just suppose that we do not know what fertility means. How can we make a guess? This should be the answer. Okay, so if a thing is a problem, it's probably not gonna be good, right? It's probably gonna be a bad sign. So having baby, is it a problem or is it a good thing? So I guess it's pretty normal that we say that not having baby, unable to have babies are problems, okay? So if they have these fertility problems, it could have meant that they are not able to bear babies. They are not able to give birth to any child. So if you look back, I mean, if these fertility problems means that they cannot have babies, so it means that those who wear this bead covered gauze are those women that cannot give birth. So they're wearing it because they believe that it helps them. Yeah. They carried it because it helps them to solve their fertility problem. So again, we look at the answer and we think logically. The Zulu women believe that bead-covered girls can help them have babies, so probably it's true. Okay, probably it says that those women who carried it are having problem, and so by carrying it, they are trying to get rid of the problem. So I guess we could fairly say that it's true. So you can see that the true, false, or not given section is relatively difficult comparing to the other sections because you can never be sure. But you can see that that's the trick. I mean, there's only one thing that confuses is whether it is not given or whether it is true or whether it is false, right? Not given is the tricky part. So the trick is that whenever the answer is not given, you can spot the pattern that it is so obviously mentioned in the article. I mean, it is so obviously mentioned. I mean, it mentioned that Henry Francis Flint did sell glass beads to the Zulu people, right? It obviously mentioned. It's so obvious, but it is also so apparently false because. No, apparently nonsense and absurd because it didn't tell you anything. So the trick is that for questions that have the answer of not given, it is usually the questions that is obviously pointed out, but obviously did not say anything about making a lot of money. And you can feel that it is just subjectively assumed that Henry made a lot of money. I know I didn't explain it really clearly, but this is just one of the patterns that you can spot on, okay? I hope it helps. In case you do not understand, please just feel free to type any comment down there, then we could, just try to figure it out, because I'm not an expert myself. Okay, maybe I forgot to introduce myself. I'm not a native speaker, and I'm a Chinese. I'm from Hong Kong, so I received my education at a local school, so I think you can fairly tell up till now because I did not get the grammar right, and I'm not really speaking that really well, and I stumble, and I just did not speak clearly. But yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to share some tips with you. So if you have any problem, just comment down right there, and hopefully we will be discussing it. Okay. Okay. So that is the true or false and not given part. So this is the most challenging part. Okay, labeling diagram. How excited! Finally, we get to see some pictures. Okay, so it's the syllabid word code. We do not know what this diagram means, but we have to find it in the paragraph first. Where did it mention about this? So let's have a look. Oh, I see the word Kirks already. Could it be here? Or could it be upper? Let's just have a look. I really don't get his computer work. I hate my computer. Okay. So it says that the code behind syllabid words is relatively basic and extremely resistant to change. Here we have the word code, so the answer should be here. A simple triangle is a geometric shape used in almost all bead items. A triangle with the apex pointing downwards signifies an married man. Whoa! Okay. So right away we can have the answer here. This paragraph surely tells you about code, and it says that simple triangle is a geometric shape used in almost all bead items. And it says that a triangle with the apex pointing downward signifies an married man. So immediately I have in mind is that this is a triangle. And this thing is the apex. And then it is pointing downwards, so it signified a married man. So immediately we know that this signifies a married man. Well, one with the tip pointing upward, so it could be this one, right? Upward is one. Oh, okay. Is worn by a married woman. So the pointing upward is a married woman. Married woman wears items with two triangles that form a diamond shape, and married men signify the marital status with two triangles that form an hourglass shape. A diamond. So I'm guessing that these are two triangles. And I think this is diamond shape. So this is for a married woman, it says here. A married man signify the marital status with two triangles that form an hourglass. Okay, you wouldn't know what an hourglass means, but just have a guess. A diamond. I'm sure all of you know what a diamond is, okay? So I think it's either that way or that way. 1, 2. So which one looks more of a diamond to you? Please don't say this one, because I would really question your judgment to geometry. Okay, so I think this is the diamond shape. So if this is the diamond shape, then this is the for the married woman, and obviously then this one is for the married man. So I think we have already figured all the pictures out, and there's just no use to read the rest of the paragraphs. Just don't waste your time. Just leave it. Do not get like, oh, I haven't finished the whole thing, I think I have to read it. No. You know what Woody Allen said in his film, like, whatever works, just whatever works. Okay, do not just linger on things that is unnecessary. If you have figured out all the answer, then that's it, then carry on, just finish the whole thing as quick as possible. So here we can say that this is for a married man. Sorry for my handwriting. And this is for the married man. And this is for the married woman. And this one is obviously for the unmarried woman. So just by clicking, you have finished the whole thing by yourself. So this is the first part of the article. It feels like we have taken forever to do it, right? But I'm sure if you do it by yourself, you're gonna do it much quicker because I have been explaining to you and just saying bullshit. So really, if you do it by yourself, I'm sure you could do it much quicker. We have got reading passage 2 and reading passage 3, but I'm not really gonna finish it with you, so because it's more important that you finish it yourself. So you can have a try. I don't know if it is clear enough for you to see, but I shall try to upload the pictures for you. In the down below in the attachment or whatever. I'm just gonna sort it out so you can really have a try, and I will provide an answer for you as well. Okay, and then you could have a brief idea of how IELTS looks like. Okay, because you do not spend too much time on it, so you have to be really sure that you finish the whole thing rather than getting the right answer. I mean, it's also important that you get the right answer, but it's also equally important that you finish the whole thing, okay? Just do not linger on a part that you do not know. Okay, see, we got fill in the blanks here, but I'm sure it's really easy. So have a try and see. You can do it using the skills. So I have just some really last reminder for you. Right. Question 1. Always check if you're on the right questions, i.e. you do not write your number 3 answer in box number 2. Please do not do that. I have seen enough students doing that, and it is just stupid because, you know, you can do it, but just because of you write the wrong answer in the wrong box, and they're just not gonna say, oh, this is the first time you did your IELTS, I'm gonna still give you the marks. No, they're not gonna do that. Do not expect that. They're not. They're examiners. Examiners are supposed to be cruel. Okay? So please, always check. If you're doing number 3, you make sure you put your answer in number 3, okay? And then do not linger on questions you do not know, because your target is to finish the paper. The questions carry equal marks. You don't want to give up the whole verse for a 3. Okay? Just go on. Just don't get this guiltiness stop you from doing it. If you do not know, then just give it. I mean, if you do not know, then nobody knows. You're the king, okay? Just finish the whole questions paper first. And then always please underline the keywords. You have no idea how much that helps. It's gonna help you much more. You see, I've underlined while I'm reading. Perhaps not in article 1 because you can find the answers so easily, but if you are doing article 2, you will have to match the headings. Then it is very important that you should always underline, because you're just gonna lost in that sea of words. You're gonna say, oh my god, where are the answers? Okay? And then 4th, most importantly, please manage your time. Please. I mean, you're just the first time I took my IELTS, when I was in Article 3, I tell you what, I have only 15 minutes left, and that is the most difficult article ever. And I have only 58 minutes to conquer that. So obviously you can tell that I did not do very well my first time. So the second time when I took my IELTS, I have 25 minutes left for question 3, so I can do it fairly in a comfortable speed and not rush the paper. So this is really important, okay? Always look at your watch, but don't look at too frequently, or else you're not gonna finish your paper. Just when you finish article 1 and look at it, and if you find out yourself have already taken 25 minutes on question 1, please get your pen up and wash through the paper. It's important that you finish the paper, alright? So yeah, that's about it. That is the skills that you have to know for your IELTS exam. And hopefully I will be doing another video on writing or another video on on reading, because there are just more skills to learn in reading. But again, IELTS is not really a difficult test. It's just you just have to practice, and you know, they are just always gonna be the same. I mean, if you are the examiner, how many different papers can you produce a year? I mean, there are so many IELTS in the whole year. They have like it every month, I don't know. So you can tell that they are just repeating themselves. So get yourself to do some past paper, get yourself to get familiarized with the structure, and do not think about reading the economics, so because that's really is not gonna help much. Just go practice your paper, then that's alright, okay? IELTS is just a stupid little test. It's not gonna, nobody's gonna tell your level of English just by one test. So why don't you just practice and let them know. Fake an accent, fake a good level of English. It's easy, okay? I myself is not a really good English user. I would not say that I'm an expert. I'm just a student myself as well. And then in the IELTS I got 8 out of 9. But I wouldn't say that I'm really up to that standard. It's just about practicing. So I hope this video really helps, and in case it doesn't work for you, please just leave comments, harsh comments, whatever. At least I know just tell me what you're thinking, okay? Thanks very much. See you next time.